Hi everyone, I'm Brianna and welcome to Roll Initiative. And today we're going to be talking about a few things that you can do that will really improve how you DM. So, let's get started. Trying to figure out how you can get better as a DM can be difficult because everyone plays the game differently. Every DM has their own DMing style, everyone's playing with their own different group of players. And even a lot of the time, you're using different rules, whether that's house rules or just even different editions. So it can be difficult to find ways to improve how you DM because everyone does it differently. It can be difficult to find things that match your style. So in this video, I'm going to be focusing on a lot of things that I think will work for almost every DM. And the first thing on that list is communication. I think communication is incredibly important in any tabletop roleplay game. And if you don't talk to your players much about the game and what they want in it, then I think now is a really good time to start. Because if you can talk to your players about what they want in the game, whether they really like certain themes of game, whether they really want to do certain side quests, or whether they just really want some elements of the story to be a certain way. If you can just talk to them about how they want to play and what they want to play, then your games are going to go a lot better and your players are likely going to be a lot more interested. Communication can let your players enjoy your game so much more because it's going to be more of what they enjoy. And it can even make your table a much safer place. Because if your players don't like certain topics, then they need to feel like they can tell you and you will listen. It is very important that everyone is okay with what's happening at the table. Certain topics or certain creatures just aren't going to suit some people. And it's really important that when someone comes to you with something like that you listen to them and try and keep it out of the game. Because what is in the game is massively up to you. So you really need to pay attention when people come to you with these things. Even just if there's certain things happening at the table between the players, then while it is their job to sort it out as it is happening between them, you have a massive amount of power at the table as the DM that the players just don't have. You have the power to be able to shut things down, and it's very important that you keep the table safe for everyone because it is your game. So it's really important, I think, for the DM to be involved with what's happening around the table. So if you see some of the players not being nice to others, or stealing the spotlight, or doing things that's really not okay at the table, then I think it is important to step in and try and shut that down. You have a level of power at the table that the players don't. So I think it's really important that even if it's not directly your responsibility to keep the table safe in certain ways, I think you need to try. This is your group after all, your table. I think another thing that's really important for DMs to know is how much they're involving their players in the game. Because even as far as creating the game, your players need a say in what the game is about to some extent. It has to be the kind of game that they want to play. It has to match their interests and the themes that they're going to be interested in. It's not going to be a good game if they're just not interested in what the story's about. So I think it's really important that you talk to your players and get them involved in creating the story about what sort of things they want in the game, what they sort of want it to be about, and even if you let them help with world building, whether they can make their character's hometown or just a couple places that will be their own. And I think this is really neat and that it can really help your players to feel connected to the world because they helped make parts of it. And I think it also really helps with player investment as they're going to be really excited because they've actually done some work and part of the story and the world is theirs and they're going to be really excited to see it. Even as far as backstories, I've never really heard of players who don't want their backstories in the game. I've heard of players who don't want much, but I've never heard of players who just don't want their backstory in the game unless they've had trouble with DMs messing up their backstory and doing things with it that they don't want. So I think it's really good if you can talk to your players about how much they want their backstory in the game and what sort of things they'd like with it. And if you do this, then it is really important that you pay attention to what they want. Talk about what characters that you're allowed to bring in as NPCs, and if there's any limit to what you can do with them, such as they might allow you to use certain people from their backstory, just so long as you don't kill them, because it is really important when you're involving your players' backstories in the game that you respect them, because their character is the only thing that is really theirs to control in game. And it's really important that you don't mess with that by doing things with their backstory that they don't want. So I think bringing their backstories in can be really, really fun for them, but you have to let them be in on it. You have to talk to them about how much they want their backstory in, because some players aren't particularly interested in their backstory, but it would still be really fun to see their backstory in it as more of Easter egg type stuff. Whereas some players will be really interested and will be really, really excited if you ask them what they want of their backstory. Just trying to involve your players in the game from the creation of it to adding their backstories into the game. It can really help to get your players more invested, and they're going to have so much more fun playing the game. Overall, I think the more you can talk to your players about the sort of game that they want to play, and the more that you can bring their characters into the game, I think the more fun they will have and the better game that you'll be able to run. And I think involving them in the game is the best way to keep them interested. So overall, I think the more that you can talk to your players and collaborate on the game, the better. A lot of people think that the DM has to do all of this work because they're the dungeon master. But I think your players will really enjoy helping, at least a lot of players will. And I think they'll really enjoy it, and they'll have a lot of fun in game seeing some of the stuff that they came up with or that they helped you make. And I think that's really, really cool. But anyway, that's the end of this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it and that it was helpful. And if it was, then I'd be really grateful if you'd consider letting me know by giving the video a like, or even subscribing to my channel. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.